Joe Biden and the Democrats are seeking to push new major legislation through Congress to the cost of trillions of dollars. But in the Senate, all legislation effectively needs 60 votes because of the filibuster. And since the Senate is split 50-50, the Democrats will need 10 Republican votes to pass their proposals. Even moderate Republicans have already rejected Biden's infrastructure proposal, meaning it is unlikely to pass with the 60 votes required. But there is another way. It's called a budget reconciliation, and it allows some legislation to be passed with only 51 votes in the Senate. And if there is a tie in the Senate, the Vice President will cast the tie-breaking vote. This means that Democrats can pass some new laws without Republican support. But how does this budget reconciliation thing work, and what can Democrats pass with it?
The Senate prepares to possibly approve a bill using what's known as reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Budget reconciliation.
Budget reconciliation. But what exactly does that mean?
How would reconciliation work?
Budget reconciliation was created in 1974 as a way for Congress to quickly get their finances in order. It's a way for Congress to quickly pass laws that concern revenue, spending, and the debt limit. Every fiscal year, Congress can pass budget reconciliation bills that concern each of the three subjects. But there cannot be more than one bill about each subject, meaning there can't be 2 bills about revenue, or 3 bills about spending, or 2 bills about the debt. You get the point. Congress can have more than one subject in a bill, and often spending and revenue are combined into just one bill. Here's how budget reconciliation works. First, both houses of Congress pass what is known as a budget resolution, and this resolution can't be filibustered and doesn't have to be signed by the president. In this budget resolution are instructions that tell committees to make legislation. So for example, the Agriculture Committee makes legislation about agriculture, the Indian Affairs Committee makes legislation about Native Americans, the Small Business Committee makes legislation about small businesses, etc. etc. Then the Budget Committee takes all this legislation from the different committees and makes it into a single bill. This is the final budget reconciliation bill. Then Congress must pass the bill. In the House of Representatives, the bill is passed like any other bill, but in the Senate, the rules are a bit different. In the Senate, a normal bill can be debated forever, meaning it never gets to a vote and can't pass. This is called the filibuster. But for budget reconciliation bills, the Senate can only debate for 20 hours, and then it must vote on the bill. Therefore, the filibuster is useless. This means a budget reconciliation bill can pass with just 51 votes. When Congress has passed the budget reconciliation bill, it is sent to the president's desk like any other bill to be signed. So what can pass under budget reconciliation? Well, you actually have to look at what can't be passed. The Byrd Rule determines which provisions can't be in a budget reconciliation bill. A provision can't be in a reconciliation bill if it falls under one or more of these 6 definitions. These 2 are procedural things, so we really don't care about those. Here is what the rest of them mean. The first 2 definitions mean that only provisions that directly affect the federal budget can be included in a reconciliation bill, and their effect on spending or revenue must be more than just merely incidental. So Congress, for example, can't implement gun control, abortion restrictions, or other regulations through reconciliation because they don't directly affect the federal budget. The third definition means that reconciliation bills can increase the deficit as much as Congress wants to within the first 10 years after the bill is passed. But after that, the bill must be either deficit neutral or reduce the deficit. And the fourth definition just means that you can't change Social Security with budget reconciliation. The Senate parliamentarian decides when a provision does not comply with the Byrd Rule, and uses estimates from the Congressional Budget Office to determine if something has an effect on the federal budget. The parliamentarian is important because he or she decides if a policy's budgetary impact is merely incidental or not. If it's merely incidental, it can't be in the bill. The vice president can, in theory, override the parliamentarian, but this hasn't been done since 1975. The Democrats can fire the parliamentarian and replace her with someone who may rule more in their favor, as the Republicans did in 2001. 22 bills have been enacted using budget reconciliation, including bills that reduced the deficit in the 80s and 90s, Bill Clinton's welfare reform, George Bush's 2001 and 2003 tax cuts, parts of the Affordable Care Act, Trump's 2017 tax cuts, and Joe Biden's COVID relief bill that passed just a few months ago. Republicans also tried using reconciliation to repeal Obamacare in 2016 and 2017, but failed both times. So what does reconciliation mean for Biden's plans? Biden has already used the budget reconciliation bill for fiscal year 2021 to pass his COVID relief bill. Usually, this would mean that Democrats only have 2 more opportunities to use reconciliation before the midterm elections, by using reconciliation for fiscal year 2022 and 2023. But the Senate parliamentarian has said that Democrats can pass more than 1 reconciliation bill in each fiscal year, which means they will be able to use reconciliation a lot more times before the midterm elections. This is enough to pass Biden's American Families Plan and American Jobs Plan and more of Biden's priorities with just 51 votes before they possibly lose their majority in the House or the Senate. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you another time.